Let's say you would like to have the Manchu feeling of a Manchu bow, but you don't need the draw length of 35, 36 or whatever inches. 32, 33, 34 is enough for you. These two as example. Let's compare them. Welcome back everybody to a short comparison of two short Manchu style bows, because it just happened to happen that I still have them here. This is the Manchu bow from Kadys Bows we got from Sarmat Archery, and this is the Chinese bow or Manchu bow biocomposite from Csaba Grozer. So you don't want to draw 34, 5, 6 inches, or let's say maximum 34, but you want to have this Manchu look, this Manchu feel. These two are quite good options. They are very different and very similar. So let's see what we have. First of all, the Kadys bow is a laminated bow with fiberglass and wood, and the Grozer is a biocomposite with pressed horn, wood and sinew plates. So you have two different materials already. So if you want a laminated bow, choice is already made. If you're open for something a bit more fancy, biocomposite, there we go. We have from the specs, we put the link to both videos in the description. The Kadys bow is 61.5 inches from knock to knock. Grozer is 65 inches knock to knock. The arrow pass of the Kadys bow is very narrow, 23.5. And with the Grozer it's 26 millimeters without these pads. They are after made by the pre-owner. So a little wide arrow pass. Brace height we have on the Kadys bow 6.5. There we have 7 and a little, so brace height of the Grozer is a little more. Then both have roughly the same poundage, and price wise Grozer is $385. Kadys bow I still don't know, but I think it's $350, something around this. So a little cheaper, a little more expensive, but different materials. Quite a little longer. The Grozer bow does only 32 inches, maybe 33. Kadys bow is shorter and does 34 inches. So that means we would have a different F value. Yes, we have. Kadys bow has an F value of 0.55 because of the length from knock to knock in relation to the max draw. And the Grozer is 0.49. And both have a string angle of 32 or beyond 32 inches, string angle of 60 degrees, which I will do a video one day. Let's see which one is easier to string. So you see both of them relatively straight, so nothing overly fancy shape, bend in the handle that you have to overcome a lot. Quite similar in the practical terms. Easy. Then you get this pretty looking bow with very thin, very sleek sears, so in a nice small string bridge, whipping around the problematic parts. Grozer I think, right? I think I always pronounce it wrong. This is the longer one. The longer one is the bottom one. The bottom. The only thing is that when you unstring a Grozer bow, always make sure that you do it very slow, because the horn doesn't like this fast movement when unstringing, they say. Good. String, I like a little more of the Grozer, looks a bit more substantial, but that's me. So you can watch both videos and then you know what these bows are doing. Today we only compare them. So Grozer is straight, and you see here we have a nice brace height, my hand and a good thumb width. The Kadys bow is straight, it's well built, but the brace height is very low. But this is what you get. Handle of the Kadys bow feels very good, solid with this leather wrap. You have a nice nice feel, and the bow is not too heavy, so you don't even feel that it's a Manchu style bow. Grozer. Handle is a bit more narrow, but a bit more deep, so feels good too. Here you have, of course, a little more weight. It's longer, it has massive compared to the Kadys Bows. Quite more substantial and longer and thicker ears. So this is what the question was, what means ears? These are the ears of the bow. We call them seers, but seer means ear. So these are the ears. So there, we'll listen. I'm joking. Let's shoot. On both bows there is no recommendation of minimum arrow weight, so we go now with roughly 10.5, which might be a little low for a Manchu, and I only shoot the glove from Freddy Archery today. So Kadys Bow does 34 inches. Let's see, out of the box, not warmed up. Yes, does it. Oh, these arrows feel very lightweight, you hear that? And the string was touching my forearm. So. It feels a little dink, and then you feel it in the hand. So maybe you want to go with 13-14 grams per pound. But it works. Kicks only a little. But on the other side it should kick. It's a Manchu bow. So. And these are a little heavier. That means we are now in 12 grain or something, I don't know. Let's see. 32 inches, maybe 33, but officially 32. Grozer. Yeah. Kicks too a bit. But throws easy, 32. You see that? Feels a bit more substantial, and the kick comes more, I don't know, it's a bit different. God. Good morning. This one should be now 10.4 grain like we had with Kadys Bow. Yeah, then you feel it in the hand too, so they are really similar. Let's get cocky and shoot 30 meters directly with Kadys Bow. Yeah, it's not so bad. Not so bad. I like. Predictable. Nice. So these arrows are a little heavier now. Nice too. This is where your point arrow goes. No problem. Oh, that was a bad shot. But maybe the arrows are spined wrong again, but this is me. So after a few shots, this first goes a little away and you get some more smooth. I think if you shoot this one a few times and it really warms up smooth. Then of course you have the people, they tell you that the Manchu effect with the long sears, with this lever and with all of this design-wise kicks in at a poundage of at least 80. Which might be so, because I can't shoot an 80-pound bow, I can't tell. But there are still a lot of people out there who want to shoot a Manchu style bow, and this one is just doing fine for that. So even you don't get maybe this last of a Manchu bow, still does the job, it still kicks, it still works, it's fine. So 10.4 grain. 180. But it feels a little like dry firing today. 181. 181. Not too bad for a lame Manchu, but you should go maybe with a higher grain per pound. It's a little too lightweight. So these arrows are 11.3. 163. 162. 161. Oh. This one would be now 10.4 grain like we had with Kadys Bows Manchu. 184. So speed-wise, when you have the same grain per pound arrows, they are comparable. So this one did now a little more, but I think they are roughly the same. There you go. The two shorter draw Manchu bows, Kadys Bow and Grozer. Which one is my favorite? It's hard to say. Look at this. When I put the string bridges on the bottom in the same height, you see how much shorter the Kadys Bow is. So this one feels more like you feel a little the kick like with a Manchu, but overall with the Grozer you get more this Manchu feeling. The handle is a little more narrow but deeper, which makes for this bow kind of sense. Here the handle is more rounded and not so deep. Feels good, but it's not, I don't know, so for a Manchu I like this handle of the Grozer a bit more, but it really depends which material you like. If an laminated one is enough and you only want to have the design of the Manchu and a little the kick and speed, Kadys Bows really a really nice bow. Draws nice, shoots nice. My arrows are only a little too lightweight, so go with at least 12 grain, better 13, 14. Then it doesn't feel like dry firing. Of course it slows down, you get then 160, 165 foot per second, but this is what you can expect from a Manchu. The Grozer on the other side gets more smooth with every shot, feels, and yeah, it's, if I would have to decide, most probably I would go, if I choose to have a shorter draw Manchu, then 32 inches would be fine. 33, I would go with a Grozer. 34 is already very close to 35, 36 inches, so most probably I would go then with the Shonkoro from Alibo. It's a thing, so they're just in between, but they are really, so they're all worth checking out. This one is really an elegant, this is the gentleman Manchu, I would say. Look, this is the colors and how this bow is looking like. This is really, or I don't want to, don't want to sound racist, but this is the female Manchu. This is, if a woman wants to shoot a Manchu, this one is really nice, because it's not so, whoa, and this is more the warrior. This one, he gets the job done. So both incredible bows. So I like them both a lot. If I would have to choose, most probably I would go with Grozer, but it's simply my personal preference. If you want a laminated one, get the Kadys Bow. It's very, and I think for horseback, this one is don't underestimate this one for horseback. I think this one really will do a good job. And when you see both of them, stiff, very stiff. So this one, I guess even, yeah, I would not do torque, but katra or something with this one is, this one is stiff. In this direction, not that stiff as this one. Torque I would not do, and with katra this bow is a little heavy. So this one with katra and stuff like this gets a little heavy. With this one you're a bit better to go. So I would say horseback, maybe this one, and in general this one. But that's me, so that's it's hard to say. Both incredible bows. So simply get both. What can I say? There are so many good bows out, and I cannot make this decision for you. I like them both. What I like is that Kadys Bows has here these two inlays. They are missing on Grozer, that's why the pre-owner made here these leather tabs on it. But on the other side, it's really, choose for yourself. You know what they are doing. I think you can make up your mind. When you see what is nice on the Grozer, yeah, not this slightly more aggressive string sear angle. You see that? More like a Manchu-esque, and I like the higher brace height of the Grozer. Because this one, directly with the first shot, I held the bow a little wrong. Yes, can happen to me too. But then this bow is fine, and this bow is fine. So both bows are fine. I need to think that we might, because I have a lot of bows, and maybe we should do a bow change, share, circle thing, that the bows we don't shoot that often, or we simply have but we don't shoot at all, we put in this circle on a website, and you can become a member of it for, I don't know, we will see. And then you simply have the chance then you have the chance to get these, that you can see which bows are just right now there, and then you can get one. Whatever, everybody can participate, and then you see all the bows available, and you say, oh look, I would like to try this Kadys bow for 4 weeks. And then the one who has it packs it, ships it to you. Of course, shipping costs need to be covered by the one who wants to test it for 4 weeks, and then the bow is optional available again. So then you have this bow 4 weeks, and then somebody else wants to have it, and then of course you ship it then to this one, and then he can test it 4 weeks. And if somebody really loves then a bow, then either he can buy it out of this sharing circle, or he simply can order one new. I think that would be an interesting idea, because it's always best to shoot these bows. You know, all recommendations is nice. My personal opinion doesn't match all of your opinions. But if this bow would be in a share circle, then you can say, okay, I want to try this, or for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, I don't know. We could agree on that. So let me know if you like this idea of a bow sharing circle, community, something. Then we start. That's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching. I catch you in the next one.